What should you do when your small business gets audited by the IRS? If you're a small business owner and just received a letter from the IRS, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. This envelope could be the start of a process that decides whether you pay a few $1,000s or face a life-changing assessment of tax penalties and interest, and in worst-case scenarios, potential criminal tax prosecution if you have a history of willfully understating your tax liability. I'm going to explain exactly what to do in the first 48 hours after receiving that notice, and how to avoid the most common mistakes small businesses make during an IRS audit. Hi, I'm David W. Klasing. I'm a tax attorney and a CPA. I've spent decades helping small businesses survive audits, and in some cases, criminal tax investigations that started with an IRS audit. At the tax law offices of David W. Klasing for nearly 2 decades, we've represented thousands of business owners before the IRS, the Franchise Tax Board, and other California tax agencies. Not one of our audit clients has ever been prosecuted for tax crimes where we represented them to the conclusion of the audit. The first 48 hours are critical. The first rule, verify the notice is real. IRS audits always begin by mail. Never by phone, never by text. You're being scammed. Check the letter and note the deadlines. You usually have 30 days to respond. Next, decides who's going to speak for your business. If you retain a professional, have them fill out a 2848 power of attorney, so your attorney or CPA deals directly with the IRS agent and not you. Audits start for several reasons: mismatched W-2s, 1099s, computer scoring, random compliance checks. Whatever triggered it, your first step is get organized. Gather all your returns, your bank statements, your receipts, and your payroll records. Most small business audits begin with a series of what we call IDRs, information document requests. This is the IRS way of saying, show us the proof. Always send copies, never originals. They'll test your sales, your expenses, your payroll, your deductions. And in travel and meals cases, they'll expect contemporaneous logs. If you claim mileage, provide a mileage log. If you deducted meals, have receipts and notes showing a proper business purpose for each meal. Failing to document properly is the single business reason small businesses lose ground in audits. If your business has employees, the IRS will look closely at your payroll tax deposits. They're looking for missing or late deposits, and that can trigger the trust fund recovery penalty, which means the IRS can hold you personally liable for your business's unpaid payroll tax withholdings. That's right, even if your business fails, they can still come after you individually. Keep every 941 EFTPS confirmation and proof of payments organized. And if you've been shorting your payroll tax deposits, talk to a tax attorney like me immediately before the IRS does. If you're in California, you might get an audit notice from the FTB, the CDTFA, or the EDD, not the IRS. California audits handled correctly can save your business tens of thousands. Handled poorly, it can double or triple your tax liability and potentially lead to criminal tax exposure. Admittedly, most audits stay civil, but some crossed into criminal tax territory. If a federal or California auditor suspects willful underreporting, discovers a double set of books, falsified records, they may tag in their criminal tax folks. That's why you should never just try and explain things or talk your way out of it. Anything you say can be interpreted as a criminal tax admission. You should only communicate through your attorney under legal privilege. Your accountant can't offer you that protection, only an attorney can. An IRS or California audit isn't just about numbers, it's about controlling risk. The right representative can mean the difference between a manageable tax adjustment and financial disaster, and in worst-case scenario, criminal tax prosecution. At the tax law offices of David W. Klasing, our dual licensed tax attorneys and CPAs handle everything. We communicate with the IRS under Form 2848. We prepare all documentation. We negotiate settlements. And most of all, we protect you from criminal tax exposure by preventing audit issues from escalating. If your small business has received any audit letter, an IRS letter, 566-2205 CP2000, or a notice of deficiency, don't wait. Call 800-681-1295 or visit KlasingAssociates.com to schedule a reduced rate initial consultation today. Because in an audit, time management and presentation of evidence are everything, and waiting only makes your chances of prevailing worse.